that bind you. You are free, you are unlimited, right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited, right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited, right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited, right now.
Good morning and welcome to Unity Church of the Mountains, where the light always shines. Let's begin with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, within us, let us clear our minds and prepare ourselves for a wonderful message from Angela, who's driven up here to be with us in the mountains, and we're so thankful. And thank you for everything, and thank you for this time that we have together. Amen. All right, please join me in the opening affirmation. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotent. Welcome guests, and welcome Angela once again. So happy to have you here. And thank you for the folks online for joining in as well. Let's join together in song, Love is My Decision.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sunshine. Good morning, moonlight and starlight, plus the galaxy that we think is so far away, but it's not. We are a miniature galaxy, and let us pray today from that point of creation. As we bow in prayer, our energy focused on expansion, we feel that sacred connection. Feel that sacred connection to this prayer box and to one another. And as our concern melts into peace, peace connects to the sacred space that teaches, heals, and balances all things. We gladly and lovingly offer our gratitude for every guiding star on our path, and for the light we see now transforming the journey of those in our prayer box. When we forget, when we're overwhelmed, sweet Spirit, bring us back to center, to the galaxy of light all around us as well, in our children, in our gardens, in our concepts, in Mother Earth itself, and from the souls that came before us. The light is our core of being, and for this eternal wonder, we give thanks. Amen. After service, I'll be in the library, and let's think a little bit about that. We normally pray together with concerns, but I like to also remember that we can pray together to honor those aha moments, those confidential and special steps that we might take in our progress, that we celebrate. We need to celebrate our baby steps even, so that they continue on. So after the service, I'll be in there. And our daily word for today is faith. My inner light grows brighter through faith. Pulling back a curtain in a dark room will drive the darkness out and flood the space with light. I remember this at those times in my life when it feels dark. I have the power to live from faith, which brings me out of spiritual darkness. Faith helps me believe that, even when I can't see it, the light of God is always shining. Little by little, my awareness of God grows increasingly brighter until I perceive the divine everywhere. I am a spiritual being, inseparable from God. I place my faith in this truth and drive out the darkness of fear and doubt that may have caused me to shrink from the fullness of life. Shining my light in the world, I inspire those around me to grow brighter with faith. And from John 12:46, I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me should not remain in the darkness. Thank you.
All right, let's sing together. How could anyone ever tell you?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything anyone fail to notice that your love is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Let us stay in that connection to our soul as we center ourselves for a brief meditation into our talk. I'm going to let Raymond Charles Barker and Ernest Holmes guide us this morning. They guide me every morning with a 365 reading, and today is December 26th. Thy will be done in me. And every time I say me or I or man, if you're a woman, it's a woman. If it's a man, it's a man. If it's I, it's you. Because we are one. And let us know this together. The one will of God, that man should be perfect. No longer do I think with reluctancy that his will may mean my failure to demonstrate what I want. I know that all of God is for me, and all of mine moves through me. What I decide will happen, and as long as it is good and will harm no other person, there is a divine purpose to my life. My creation was not an accident. It is the fulfillment of a plan and a design. Mine could only know a perfect idea, and so his will for me is a perfect life here and now. Letting go all visible evidence to the contrary, I accept this. God's will is done in me, and the world is richer because I am. The will of God moves to accomplish my heart's desires. Without stint, it offers me the full expression of life. To me, it gives every hope, every vision, every right desire. Out of the abundance of love, it merely asks that I accept life and use it aright. Letting this divine design control my thinking, I find good of the world's at hand. I am able to clasp that which I seek, and the experience that which I have, I want. His will for me is wonderful. I glory in it. I am the son or daughter of the Father that intended its furtherness through its plans of all humanity. I evolve spiritually. The whole human family benefits. His will be done in me, and my permanent peace envelops me. It breathes through my consciousness, bringing new and great ideas to pass. In this abiding security, I know my own Christ self. I rest from all struggles, and I let his actions do the work. My hope becomes possibilities, and my dreams unfold into facts. Life becomes glorious, and I do all things with ease, and love controls me. I am an active expression of God. This complete oneness, the Spirit absorbs my whole attention. My world is saturated with God. This is the will of the Father for the Son, and that I am the Son now, and so it is. And so we shall be this wholeness. Love is our decision. My name is Angela Harmon. Happy holidays, everyone. How are we doing this holiday season? Did we have a good Christmas yesterday? Oh, yeah. Very good. I think we're supposed to enjoy that. I believe it's the magic in the world. Two of my favorite movies happen to be one of the Charlie Brown's Christmas Just in case the networks decide they don't want to play it for me, I have my own copy. But they played it. So the other that I love is It's a Wonderful Life.
I think it's been on every day.
I could put this on every day. Matter of fact, this starts about Thanksgiving. And even though it doesn't seem to be a Christmas movie, The Wizard of Oz comes on during this time. It comes on right after Thanksgiving too, and it came on during the Christmas season. So as I looked, and I get flowers for myself to help brighten up my day, because I do believe in magic, and magic is in nature. Driving up here is magical to me. So those of you that live up here, you're living in the magic. But on the shelves during the holidays too was It's a Wonderful Life. And you know, that's a big holiday classic. But do we think our life is always wonderful? So again, on the stand was the magic of Christmas. So what I think about Christmas and Santa Claus, we've got a Santa Claus back there, ho, ho, ho. And I believe Santa Claus is a precursor to the miracles that we're supposed to expect in our lives. I remember the first time I realized that there was no Santa Claus, I was so disappointed that it was my folks doing this. You know, they got caught. That's what happens. They get caught. And they get caught in the act, and now we're disappointed for some reason because we think the magic is gone. But over time, the word miracle comes to mind, right? Although they come out the same time of year, the miracle of the birth of Christ comes out the same time as the magic of Christmas. So what we didn't tie together, to me as children, that every day is a miracle. Everything we do and pray and say is a miracle. That's what the disappointment came in as. Were we supposed to stop saying to our parents what we want? I think we did. Since they betrayed us in some way. You said this, you said that. Now we're coming into limitations, which there aren't any. We figure, oh, we're not worth it anymore. What did we do wrong for us to find out those things? Are we naughty? Are we nice? All those things come up during this time of year. But I believe both are in us. We can be pretty naughty, and we can be pretty nice. So what draws out the naughty and the nice in us? So many of the stories that came on during the Grinch, Scrooge, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Little Drummer Boy, It's a Wonderful Life, Wizard of Oz. Now, you know, all those stories have a Scrooge in it. The Grinch is the Scrooge, right? And then, you know, the Scrooge is the Scrooge. Who's the Scrooge in It's a Wonderful Life? Mr. Potter. Who is the Scrooge in The Wizard of Oz? The Wicked Witch of the West. So there is always going to be some disappointing factor in our lives. And that disappointing factor may come in different disguises. Sometimes it's the parents, sometimes it's the witch, or the boss, or whoever we say it is. Because it's who we say it is. And that's where prayer works. Because prayer is what we're saying. Our talk title today is Prayer Works Immediately, Eventually, or Eternally. And I think this season skips us all the way to eternally. Because there is forever a presence that is giving and loving and kind and available and gives us everything our hearts desires. But in the immediate, we might not see it. Well, I said now, and it ain't happening now, so there is no God, there is no magic, there is no miracle. That's what we start to say. We go right to no instead of yes. I don't think time matters to spirit, because one of the things we have controversy about this time of year is whether Jesus was really born this time of year. I think they put Jesus in the mix because of what I just said. We needed to believe that the magic is the miracle. The miracle is the magic. We find ways to get the message delivered to us. I don't know whether you know about the Charlie Brown Christmas. You have a little history in the back. So what I found out that Charles Schutz, who wrote the comic strip, his nickname was Sparky. Did y'all know that? That's so cute. Y'all know who else Sparky is? From the movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. What's his name? Sparky. That's what she calls him. I know his name is something else, but the wife calls him Sparky, and that's been coming on a lot. I love that little movie, too. And they play It's a Wonderful Life in there. Do you see that? They play It's a Wonderful Life in Home Alone, in both 1 and 2. So it's funny how It's a Wonderful Life gets in there, because it's a reminder things are going to happen. George Bailey couldn't wait to get out of Bedford Falls and never left, and still had a full life, because he was doing the right things. Natural laws help us do the right things. The magic and the miracle is the natural law. We may not want to do it. We can't not plant the seed and get the watermelon. If we leave the seed on the table, we get no watermelon. That's a natural law. What I read when I decided to do prayer works immediately, eventually, or eternally. Life has only one mind. It is forever unfolding. It is a sustaining power. We merely are to tap into it by our thoughts, words, and our deeds. Now, don't you think during the holidays the kids are always a little bit better? They clean up their room. I'm like, your room ain't never this clean. And you get a phone call from people you don't normally get a phone call from. And then the rest of the year coming in there. I'm like, what happened? Darkness is always the symbol of ignorance, while light is the symbol of wisdom and truth. It is our inherent right to believe in the peace and happiness that we are. Light reveals in right timing, and it translates our prayers are answered, and they may be immediate, they may be eventually, or eternally. But the light is our prayer. So with that said, what have we prayed for that has come immediately? Cup of coffee, right? A neighbor showing up, somebody calls, right? You get those, right? When it's almost immediately. I was thinking about a friend of mine. I think some of you know him. He lives in the area. I think his girlfriend runs a bookstore up this way. So I thought about calling AJ and letting him know I was coming. Guess who called me yesterday? AJ. How did he know? So sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it's eventually. I was working for IBM, and I just knew that I would work for IBM, at least till 70. Why not? I was doing what I love. Get a phone call last year, and I could see it on my boss' face because we were Zooming by then. We were always Zooming, but everybody began to Zoom after COVID. And I could tell on his face that was my last day. I could tell. So I didn't know what retirement was going to look like for Angela Harmon. And so eventually, that came. So I'm in a retirement mode from IBM, but a new beginning for Angela. And my nickname is Nisi. So I like that Sparky had a nickname, and I started using my nickname. So that was eventually. Eternally is everything that I just told you that I thought I did, I don't do. Everything that is of right mind and of right success in my life and in your life is that eternal present that said, yes, Angela or Nisi could be on planet Earth right now. And these are the days that she get. Let's see what she does with them. That's eternal. You leave your legacy based on everything you do I do on a given day. If I make the right choice, it's eternal. It's going to pave the way for eternal happiness. Now, if I do the opposite, guess what? That's eternal too. And it will do the same thing in my life, and it will keep that eternal misery going as long as I ask for it. Because natural law does not play favorites. It does not care what you ask it for. It gives you exactly what you think you are worth. And I am worth the magic and the miracles that this season tells me about. And are you? So let us decide whether the immediate prayers are helping us set up for our eternalness. And the eventual, that's the hardest one. So let's look at the definition of these three words. And they're all adverbs. I had to even look this up. I'm like, okay, adverbs, I know they add to a verb. So the anal me said, let me look this up and share. An adverb is a verb that has gone into advertising. The main difference between verbs versus adverbs is that a verb are action words and adverbs are descriptive words. Verbs state the action performed by the noun, while the adverb provides more information about how that action is performed. So if we want something to be immediate, how do you see that? No lapse of time, right? Immediate. That was like me thinking about AJ. Let him tell him I'm coming up to the mountains, and then the phone rings. Like, okay, this is kind of interesting. We're networks. We're vibes. That's why people started flying all over the planet, even though we didn't have the internet or a telephone back then. Or did we have phones? We didn't have long distance. I think the phones were coming, and not everybody had one, right? Not everybody had a phone. Somebody used to have to go to next door to use a phone. That tells my age. You young people, I got phones in your hands. So that's immediate. Eventually, finally, ultimately, sometime later, I didn't know what retirement really meant. I heard what other people did and, what that was supposed to look like. And the universe orchestrates that too. I said 70. The universe said 60. Oh, that's 10 years different. Wait, that doesn't match what I said or what I thought. But finally, Angela gets to be Angela. That's what that is. You don't look at it that way in the moment. It's like, wait a minute, my job, my insurance, my car, whatever it is you're paying for, your house, your health, all of that came to mind. So that's eventually. Now, eternally, in a way that is ceaseless, endless, perpetual. There is always prayer. And that says it. The music of the magic will make me read John 1:9. That was the scripture that I kept with this. That was that true light which lighteth every man cometh into the world. When you come into the world, you are a light, is how I translate that. Now, you can decide whether you want the light on or off. There's a switch, right? There's a switch, and the switch is God. This is the switch. We're the switch. We're the kingdom. We're the temple. We're everything that every word wants to give us. We're the sun, the moon, the stars. We're that one power. But it starts with you. It's enduring. It's never changing. It's ceaseless. But the light comes from the truth. Anything less than truth is darkness. And oftentimes we take ourselves into the darkness because we're ashamed, we're in fear, we want to hide, Nobody knows. Nobody's done this but me. Why did I do that? This is a mistake. I'm a sinner. Oh, woe is me. Why am I here? We could talk ourselves in so much darkness that we decide that there is no God, there is no light. Let this time of year spark light in you that never goes out. There's a song called Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, God of Glory, Lord of Love. Think of law of love. Hearts unfolds like flowers before Thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. That means we've got to get the darkness out. Let the light of Santa or Christ shine, whichever one you want to pick. They all mean the same to me. God answers prayers always. What are we praying? What are we saying? Are we saying yes where we're supposed to say yes and no to where we're supposed to say no? I told you about the Charlie Brown special that I love to watch. Well, when that special came on, I was only about 5 or 6 years old. But it's funny what we can remember when we're little. If we really like it or we really don't like it, it's in there, right? Some we really don't like is in there too. So there were only 3 networks back then: CBS, NBC, ABC. Another thing you young people don't even know anything about. There's so many stations, you can't even watch them all. So I had this idea, but I did keep it to myself. I didn't want Comcast coming knocking on my door. Where, can I just pick the stations I want and pay for those? That doesn't work like that. But back then, the only 3 stations you had, and they were free: ABC, NBC, CBS. And then the TV would go off. There would be no option. You went to bed because there was nothing to watch. So with that said, there was a agency that reached out to someone that worked with Charles Schutz, Sparky, I'll call him. And they asked him, did he have a Christmas special? And the guy they called said, sure, we've got one. They didn't have one. So what he does is call up Charles and another producer, and they get in a room together, because it was due that Monday, and it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and they get together face to face, and they come up with this idea that we watch every year. They pitch it to Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola is the one that wants it. And then Coke likes the idea and says, you've got 6 months. That was unheard of back then. It was a comic strip. It was not animated. So they had to figure out how to animate the Peanuts characters. They did all this work in a timely manner. They tell all the stories in that, so if you ever get it, watch it. Long story short is that when they bring it to Coke, they don't like it. But they have the time slot already ready. So they said, thanks a lot. They played it anyway. It was watched by 49% of the audience that existed watching TV during that time. Only to Bonanza. Anybody remember Bonanza? Yeah. Bonanza didn't get me that night. Charlie Brown's Christmas got me that night. So someone thought that that wasn't going to be successful. They didn't even like it. And it's one of the longest running Christmas shows that exist. Matter of fact, that is a standard. People put that to that standard. Guess what else they didn't like about that movie? They thought it was slow. They thought it was dark. They thought it used kids' amateur voices. The other thing that even the producers, when they were coming up with the story, thought might be tipping the scale was putting the story of Christ in it. That was unheard of. And as we listened to Sparky's wife, who does the interview, she said, he was so disappointed in that. Why do you think you're supposed to keep that in the church? and it's supposed to be everywhere. So I like that they combined in that story the magic of Christmas and the miracle of the birth of Christ. Now, back then, Mary had to be pretty confused about being pregnant. And I don't know what Joseph was thinking. But I know if they had social media like what we have today, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, I don't know whether that would all turned out quite the same way. But what I do know through Charlie Brown's story and even how they shunned Jesus and Mary, Jesus coming with Mary and Joseph, I understood through these stories that unhappiness can equal sadness. Sadness can turn into depression, and depression can turn into, which I think is equivalent to stress, which kills. We are here to live, and we are here to live life fully. So that means, with the magic of this season, we have to figure out what makes us happy. We are to do happy things. And when we do happy things, the sadness dissipates. It has no room to grow. Because if sadness grows, other things grow with it. We are to think with our heads and our hearts, which is our prayers. And one of the habits, think win-win. You know, I'm a habit facilitator. Habit 4 is think win-win, and it is to know the truth about yourself by emphasizing that it is important for you to be heard, but it's also important for the person with you to be heard. I think that's what happened when we were a kid. I don't know whether we thought we were heard anymore since we weren't getting our Christmas stuff like the list. And Sally, the little sister in Charlie Brown, created her list. It got very long. At first, she did ask about Santa, though. Hi, Santa. I hope your summer went well. How is the missus? And then she went on to her whole list of things that she wanted. These are the things I want, not just for now, but for always. That I'm a walker of integrity, and that I walk with people of integrity, and people that have integrity are true to their feelings and their values and their commitments. That I'm mature, and that I walk around with others that are mature. Mature people express their ideas and their feelings with the courage and the consideration of the ideas and the feelings of others. And that there is an abundance in the world. That's what really this season tells us, that you can't outgive God, the planet, the law. And an abundance mentality means people with an abundant mentality believe there is plenty to go around. So I thank Mr. Rogers for that. He was in my childhood. There was something about him that taught kindness and plenty, and that children should be heard. I think we forget to listen to the children. I remember growing up when they said children are to be seen and not heard. And we're all God's children. We're still children. We're just older children now. You know, we'll be a child when we're 90. We're a child when we're 100 if we make it that far. But we are to always listen to the children of ourselves, and then the children of the world. So with that said, we know that prayers work immediately, eventually, and eternally. And I have a prayer book. This says the dangerous prayers, 50 powerful prayers that change the world. And on the cover you see Lincoln, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King. The one I do want to read, because when we say prayers are eternal, sometimes the prayer is very short. There was a lady called Lottie Moon. I don't know whether you know her name, but she was a missionary And a lot of these people do have a religious or faith-based background, and her prayer was this short: I pray that no missionary will ever be as lonely as I have been. That was her prayer. She was out there, she felt on the road by herself, even though she had God with her. There is a book that I have to research called The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. Anybody know that book? I haven't seen it. It was on an episode of a show, and they said one of the underlining quotes in that book, when I find it, I'll bring it and share it with you too, is that we only waste our time when we spend our time thinking that we're alone. That is the only time we waste it. Any other time, even if we're in a room by ourselves, we are not alone. There is a presence that's bigger than we are. It is that one power. Another prayer was by Mother Teresa. And the book, the one that she has in the book is not the one that I love, and I'm going to read that. But Harriet Tubman, I'm going to read her quick little prayer. We know who she is. And one of the prayers that she said, she's my hero because she couldn't even read or write, and she freed herself. So anytime I feel like I'm in bondage, it's my own fault. I just think of Harriet. I have her on my desk to remind me. It's like, oh, you think you had it bad. Really? Her prayer is very short. I'm going to hold steady on you. You've got to see me through. It was just that short. Now, I'm going to close with Mother Teresa's recipe for peace. That is the prayer to my company, Happy Academy. It's our credo, because I believe this is the truth in all our lives. And even though she was who she was and as magnificent as she is, you should read her prayer. But this is what she guides us with as well, as we are in this season for peace and goodwill to all men. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, others may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, others may forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. So as we know this truth about ourselves, we're getting ready for what's next. And every day is a new day. What happened yesterday, if it repeats itself a little bit today, so be it. But most of the time, it's a brand new day. So act in that success, act in that happiness, act in that kindness. Because I know if somebody cuts you off in Atlanta traffic, you want to like go run them over. That's what you see people doing. It's like, no. Is that your eternal that you're putting out there? Or is that your immediate, or your eventually? What are you doing? What are we setting free out there to precede us? Write it down. So as we go into the next part of as I end this part, we're going to go into our burning bowl part. And what I normally do is, I'm writing all the time now. This is my newest journal, and it just started 2 days ago, and look how deep I'm in. It's going to travel with me. I picked this one because I'm headed to Paris tomorrow. How about that? Talking about bringing the new year right. But significantly, my godmother's birthday, I think I've sent a picture of her, brought a picture of her to you. And this is the first year I've ever known what her birthday was. because I was niecey and a little person when she was in my life. And my birthday, I barely knew what it was. So definitely didn't know my godmother's birthday. Her birthday is actually December 29th. So I will be in Paris celebrating her birthday for the first time in my life there. And the reason why I picked Paris, because I went to Paris for a day. We were spending a week in London. And I wanted to go to Paris. And everybody said, we'll go for the day. And I wanted to spend the night. Nobody wanted to spend the night. I'm spending the night. So I'm going to spend 3 or 4 nights. So that dream is coming true. But with that said, my godmother is not gone. She's actually physically made her transition. But if you know the story Coco, as long as we are living through, they're living through us with our memory and what we do. So what do we want to carry? Do we want to carry good things into the new year, or do we want to carry, you call it. You know what's happy and you know what's sad. I can't call sad or happy for you. I'm bringing some happy, more happy. Let's see what Godmommy's going to do from the other side, because I'm celebrating her birthday. And what am I going to leave? So what we're going to write down eventually, and we're going to let everybody have an opportunity to get a piece of paper and write down the biggest ones, because we only have a little piece of paper for you to write on. So if you got a script, you can go home and finish that when you get home. But write a couple of things down that make you sad, make you unhappy, and that's what we're going to burn in the burning bowl, because we're going to let that transform into light. Light us up. We're letting that darkness go, whatever that, because we all have it. We can go either way. The shoulder that when we were growing up with Bugs Bunny, and they had a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, and we decide which one we're going to listen to. So we're going to let the energy that kind of suppresses us go, and the energy that releases us to our higher flying light up selves. So take that opportunity now, write down 1 or 2 things, and if you've got more, feel free to go home and write them all down, because it's better to write them all down. But write down the major ones that you want to let go. And one of the things I let go of last year that I'm going to let go again of, any fear. I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm afraid of. So, and it'll show you. It showed me immediately. So, with that said, if you've got it written down, I think they're setting the bowl free. And we're going to start in the back so we can do this with some order. And let's see, who's the readiest row in the back? That row that stood up. We'll let that row go first. You can stand there for a second, let it go, say a little prayer with it, just 1-word prayer that you got, and then come back in and we'll let the next row go. So everybody else writes yours down. Did everybody up here got one? You got one too? Very good. Awesome. I need one.
You can have mine.
I might not want yours. No. All right, next row, and we'll do it by row. Once the row sits, then you can go and just send it with light and love. Okay, yeah, one row, yeah, okay. Keep the bomb. Oh, yeah, okay, go slow, people. We don't want a fire out there. They got an extinguisher out there, but we don't want to have to use it. So, yeah, oh, yeah, those are at home that are doing this. Be careful with your fireplaces. Stand there and watch it, please. Don't go unattended. This is supposed to be a success story. I don't know that this is a flash pen. We don't. I think this is regular paper. Is why we need the room between. Very good. We're turning the darkness into light. And if you forget, remember this moment so you can turn the switch back on. Or create a new moment of light, because every day is new. Did you guys go yet? Not yet? Okay, very good. All right, so we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Beautiful. I think we feel lighter already. The other half of that, I want you to write down something in your heart until you get home. And I used to have a whole list for that too, of what you're bringing into 2022. My new book will be coming out in 2022. I'm an author now, so I'm a retired IBMer, but a new life has started. So those who want a bookmark, I would give anybody a bookmark who wants. It's called Birds of a Feather. I think we're birds of a feather. And all our birds don't always feather. You have to figure out who you feather with and then do the feathering with them. You know, the whole planet is big enough for all of us birds, but sometimes we have to pick the right birds to feather it. So I like it. It's really on affirmative prayer. Prayer is important. Make sure you're praying your way through every day. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So as you're writing your dreams down, make sure your dream is from your heart and your head, and the universe will handle the rest. And so it is. Thank you. Amen. Prayer book of all books. That's the one that could probably handle it the most.
Thank you, Angela. That was fabulous. All right, let's join and sing. I release and I let go.
Stand.
Yeah, everybody stand. As you can. As you can. Stretch those legs.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
All right, let's do the love offering now. Everybody can sit if you'd like to sit. All right, if folks would like to support this community, this loving community, there's several ways to do that. There is, just giving a check or online options on the website as well. And I think there's a little bowl that you can drop your support into as you exit the area after the service. All right, let's do the offering affirmation. I guess repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I have, receive, and all that I am. All right, Sky, are you going to do the updates?
Angela, you always give wonderful messages. I always look forward to seeing you whenever you're here. So going into our updates, Pennies from Heaven still at $2,400. Let's keep that going. We well surpassed our goal by the beginning of this month. January 2nd, we're having Reverend David Torres and Mike Whitestone ceremony. Set your intentions for 2022. Also on January 2nd, our Unity 101, right after service, is our info for those who would like to join the church and become members. January 9th is our new members ceremony, welcoming our members that joined January 2nd. And then starting January 4th, February 1st, or January 4th through February 1st, is a 5-week class with Reverend Robin Volker, the Jesus Teachings. And you can find those, the dates on our calendar on our website, but they're from every Tuesday in that time period from 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. The heart of a Unity message is that Jesus is the great example for us to follow in our spiritual development. In this course, we will explore how Jesus taught, prayed, and demonstrated healing. And then you can also sign up on our Mountain Spirit newsletter on our website at unitychurchofthemountains.org. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Sky. All right, let's sing I Envision together.
Let us envision a center of love. Let us envision and know this is where the light always shines. We are a center of love. Let us envision and see us rising high above. I can see the light in your face. I can feel the love here in this place. Do you envision? I envision a center of love. A center of love. Do you envision? I envision a center of love. Love, love, love. We envision a center of love. Love, love, love. We envision a center of love. Love, love, love. We envision a center of love. Love, love, love. We envision a center of love.
All right, let's join together now for our vision statement. Together, we envision a church building and campus that meets our needs now and into the future. Our church home is a center of love, radiating light and uplifting the world, and so it is. And let's do our healing affirmation prayer together. May my mind know that it cannot be limited. May my heart know it cannot be separate. May I know only wholeness of being and claim nothing less than the fullness of life. And now for our closing prayer. Let's reflect on Angela's message today, and may it be part of our spiritual toolbox within us as we carry Christmas throughout 365 days every year, where we bring the light, where we turn on that switch. If you want to call the switch God or Santa Claus or the Christ presence, whatever works for you, whatever just resonates light within you. Thank you for this time that we had together. Thank you for Angela being here. And we wrap Angela in love and light as she goes to Paris. How exciting. We'll look forward to hearing all about her trip when you come back. Thank you, God. We love you. Amen. And now let's join together for the peace song. And you can stand as you are able.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally.
prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.